Hey everyone, it's Tim from timgagnon.com. Over the last 5 or 6 weeks I've been doing free painting lessons on my Facebook page, trying to create something fun for everyone while they're home dealing with the whole coronavirus, being quarantined. It's really a great time to practice your painting, so I figured I might as well do some free lessons, give back to you guys who have supported me over the years. And like I said, I've been doing these on Facebook, but I wanted to do a few on YouTube because I know not everyone has Facebook, so I figured might as well do some on YouTube as well. Today what I'm doing is I'm doing part one of a summer scene with clouds and hills, and we're doing kind of some stormy clouds, maybe just after a storm passing through, and we're working with oil paint today. So the video I created was for Facebook, so if you hear me mentioning Facebook or anything like that, that's just because I created a live video at the same time while creating this video for YouTube. So just sit back, relax, grab some brushes, and let's do a live painting. Hey everybody, I'm back to do another art project here for you today while we're all under quarantine, or stay-home orders. I've been doing these live painting lessons for the last, I think it's 5 weeks now, so I've done about 7 lessons. You can find the other ones that I've done here on my Facebook page. You can just scroll through the posts and you should be able to find them. Some of them are in acrylic, some of them are in oil. Today we're going to be doing an oil painting lesson on this is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. Like I said, I am going to be doing oil today. What I'm going to do is a summer scene, kind of like what we did with acrylic, but I'm going to do it with oil today. So that way, for all you oil painters out there, you have something to try while we're all stuck at home waiting for this whole coronavirus stuff to go away. So hopefully that's sooner rather than later, but we're going to just jump right into this. This will be probably a 3-part video. We'll start today with the sky, clouds, and some hills, and then over the next couple days we'll move forward through the painting. So like I said, it's an 18 by 24 inch canvas. And I hope you're enjoying these live painting lessons. If you are, please feel free to share with your friends or tag your friends in the comments. And if you do try out any of these lessons, post your progress in the comments and I'll comment on those later. What I'm going to do to start out with is I'm going to use a filbert brush. And for the colors I'm using today, got cerulean blue, King's Blue Deep. If you don't have King's Blue Deep, just take it out. Just use cerulean blue. Alizarin Crimson, Raw Umber, Titanium White, and this fancy little apple jelly looking stuff is Neo Megilp. Now let's see if I got it here. Right here, it's oil painting medium, helps the paint kind of be smooth, and it helps it dry faster, which is nice because I'm impatient, so I like it to dry as fast as possible. Also, I'm going to be posting this lesson on YouTube as well. So later, if you want to see a more high definition video of this, you can check it out on YouTube. All right, so like I said, we're going to do a summer scene. And I'm going to start out by painting in just the sky. What I want to do is mix a sky color. I'm going to take a little bit of that Neo Megilp. Got a filbert brush here. You can use any style brush really. I'm going to take my cerulean blue and King's Blue Deep, and this is the sky color I'm going to use. So mixing these two together, and I'm actually going to add a little more cerulean blue. Okay, so we've got a good amount of paint here on the brush. And what I want to do is I'm going to have a hill here on the left and clouds going up towards the right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to block in, and my canvas is a little loose here. First thing I'm going to do is just block in my sky. And you can take your time with this. And what I want to do is shape out some clouds. So like I said before, I want to have clouds kind of drifting up this way. So I'm going to block in up towards the top here. And what I'm going to end up doing is leaving space for my clouds. So it's a bigger canvas, so a little bit slower today. If your paint doesn't go on very smooth, just continue to add some of that Neo megilp. A good alternative to the Neo megilp is liquid. Helps the paint dry a little bit faster, thins it out a little bit. Okay, so now that I'm getting down about 4 or 5 inches from the top, what I'm going to do is start shaping some clouds. So this white space that I leave here, all of these little contours, those will end up being clouds. So you want to try to create some unique shape. And like I said before, I want to have them drifting up to the right here. So maybe I'll have a little break off cloud like that. So if you have any questions while I do the video, please feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll answer those after I've posted the video later today. Alright, so now what I want to do is put a little sky over here. I'm just going to keep shaping my clouds. Okay, so we have clouds drifting across this way. And I'll do a few little break off clouds at the top. We want it to create kind of this movement flowing across the sky. What I'm going to do next is add just a little white to that color mixture. And down lower, I want to create some more sky underneath the clouds as they're drifting across. So the reason why we made it a little bit lighter is because usually the sky is a little bit lighter towards the horizon. Okay, so lots of unique shapes. You can have maybe a little opening here. And then maybe we'll go back to that initial color. Work the sky down a little bit more and through here. So we just want our clouds to all have really unique shapes. Okay, so this will be our clouds drifting across. We'll have some hills out here in the front. And we'll make adjustments to these clouds probably a little bit as we go. Gonna do a little bit more sky here. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to start adding in layers to my clouds, and I'm going to start with a little bit of a grayish color. So what we're going to do is take a little bit more of that megilp. We'll stick with the same brush. We're going to add a little bit of raw umber and a little tiny bit of alizarin crimson. Then some white. We're going to get a nice gray cloud color. Okay, so what I want to do at first is my clouds down low here will have some shadow. So I'm going to put in some of this gray along the bottom of my clouds. And what I want to do is just kind of come close to the edge of my blue. Maybe we'll do a little shadow right here. Okay, so the shadow is going to be at the bottom of the cloud. And then I'm going to add a little bit more white. Then up through these clouds, we'll put a little bit of shadow towards the bottom again. Again, not blending into the blue yet, we're just bringing the color close. Alright, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe my brush off, get rid of some of that paint on there. I'm going to add some more white to my color. And now what I'm going to do is block in the rest of the cloud, just right up close, not going into the sky yet, just bringing the color close. You want to try to get it close to the edge as possible without mixing. So any area you have white canvas left in the cloud area, you want to fill with this color. And again, you don't have to blend it into your shadows yet either. You can just bring it close. We're going to do a big blending technique here in a second. And bring all this together. So, if you're enjoying the video, please feel free to share with your friends. Check out my website, timgagnon.com. I have lots of high definition videos and lessons on there. So lots of stuff to keep you busy. If you need more art projects, go ahead and check that out. Got lots of stuff from still life to landscape, animals. Okay, I'm going to keep filling in the same color, just coming close to my shadows, coming close to my sky. Okay, this down here, I also want to be clouds. So I'm going to use that same color, bring it close. And the fun stuff will happen here in just a minute. So a bigger canvas takes a little bit longer to get everything filled in. We'll go all the way over here. Again, just coming close to that shadow. And now your hand should be really tired doing a larger canvas like this. And I almost forgot this little piece here. I'll make sure I get those. Alright, so they're already starting to look like clouds, but they're kind of messy, especially, you know, you're seeing all these little gaps where the color comes close to the sky but really isn't overlapping into it yet. So what we want to do now is shore up all of these little areas where you see canvas, And to do that, we're going to use a large blending brush. Okay, we'll take a large blending brush like this. And what I want to do is first go within the clouds. So I'm taking the shadow and blending it into these lighter areas. So we'll just put a little pressure on the brush and start bringing this stuff together. So a little bit of crisscrossing, up and down. We just want these colors to come together. Okay, as you pick up paint on the brush, just take I've got a little rag here, you just wipe the brush off. And just keep blending together, scrubbing it together, trying to get rid of all of the canvas. Okay, once you have it starting to blend, next what I want to do is blend everything out into the sky. So just taking the corner of the brush and now extending that paint out beyond the canvas a little bit. And what happens is you get all these little wispy, soft edges. And again, as you pick up paint, just wipe your brush off so you're not dragging tons of blue. Like I dragged a bunch of blue in there. As you pick that stuff up, you want to wipe it off a little bit. Okay, so even this little guy here, just want to brush it over, make sure that everything's kind of going out into the sky a little bit. You're getting all that white canvas covered up. So sometimes if you're having a hard time moving the paint around, you can use the corner of the brush and kind of push and scrub, and it will push it around a little bit. But just remember, this is just our first layer, so trying to establish just some shape. We'll do a second round of color for the clouds here in just a second. Just want to get all of this canvas covered. Some brush strokes, even in the sky, we'll blend everything together. Alright, so next what I want to do is I want to establish those shadows again. So I'm going to go back to my filbert brush. I'm going to put my blending brush right here. We'll go back to our King's Blue and Cerulean Blue, a little bit of raw umber, and a little bit of alizarin. We're going to get our shadow color going again. Some white. And now I'm going to go along, go a little bit more white, a little bit more of the blue. I don't want it to be a really drastic change. There we go, that's a better color. So I'm just going to go along, reestablish some of these shadows. All the way up here, a little bit of shadow. Okay, so reestablishing some of our shadows. I'll do a little bit of a shadow kind of going up through the middle of the cloud here. Okay, then what I'm going to do, take white, little neo megilp. We're making our lighter color again. Go a little bit lighter and a little bit more blue. Again, I'm going to bring the color up close to my sky. We'll block in around the shadows again. Okay, and if you hear me rolling back, one thing that I do a lot of workshops. I teach a lot of workshops around the United States and Canada. And one thing I notice is sometimes people forget to sit back and look from a distance. So that's something you really want to try to do more, is sit back every once in a while, take a look at it, and evaluate before you add in more paint. So sometimes you can kind of get stuck just looking really closely at your painting. And then when you sit back and look, it looks completely different. So when you go to a museum or a gallery and you're looking at paintings, a lot of times your initial look is from a distance. If you're an artist, you'll probably walk right up close to it and look at it closely and get yelled at by the security people. But just your average day, everyday person probably looks at it from a distance. So you should look at it from a distance too, just so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like further away. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. We're starting to get some layers of paint on here. Again, what I want to do, put a few little break-offs there. What I want to do is take that big blending brush, wherever see, I looked all over for it. It was right there in front of me. All right, I want to take the big blending brush and again, lightly blend everything together. Really light pressure as you blend through the sky. Okay, what I'm going to do next is add in my hill, my first hill, and I'm going to take another clean background brush, and I'm going to take my neo megilp, some of my blue, some raw umber, and some alizarin. What I want to do is make a color slightly darker than my current shadow color. So just like that. Okay, what I'm going to do is just create a hill shape. We'll have the hill going right up into the clouds. So I'm taking the flat brush, holding it vertical, creating these little levels of your hill coming down. It doesn't have to be a big mountain. Just gradually slope it down. And maybe back up a little bit. Okay, and then I want to pull that color down. And then you can make little adjustments. So maybe I'll have kind of the hill mound up a little bit here. I want it to kind of get lower as it moves across. So you can slowly make the adjustments, just turn the brush a little bit in your hands. Okay, just want to keep filling in. Doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom, but about an inch away from the bottom would be good. Just adjusting the hill a little bit. Okay, now what I want to do is take some of this hill color and lightly brush it into my cloud. And then maybe we'll blend the hill and the cloud together, like the cloud is starting to engulf the hill a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to take my other blending brush, really lightly brush this together, create a little bit of atmosphere. This over here on this side a little bit more clear, since the clouds aren't really engulfing the hill here. Alright, now what I want to do is start adding in some highlights to my clouds. I'm going to take a clean flat brush. You could use a round brush for this as well. I'm going to take some white, mix it into my mountain color, so we're going a little bit gray, but we want it to be mostly white. And I'm going to start up here. Add in some highlight. So I'm creating a light source from right to left. Go up here again, adding a little bit more white towards our light source. Just want to bring it close to my shadows. I'm going to do another little break off cloud here. So I'm going to go underneath this shadow, highlight a little bit of my cloud towards my light source again. So what this is doing is creating a little bit of depth, because it's pushing this cloud up here out and this one in behind. Okay, I'm going to keep highlighting here out towards my light source. And we'll probably just do one round of highlights today, because titanium white has a tendency of drying really slow. The neo megilp will help it dry a little bit faster, but in general it dries really slow. And I want to add in some brighter highlights after it dries a little bit. So again, a shadow here, so I'm going to go underneath it to create different layers within the cloud. This cloud down here is going to be a lot more in the highlight range. But we won't highlight the entire thing. We'll maybe put a little highlight on the edge here. Maybe a little bit right there. Maybe a little highlight under here. So all of this stuff creates depth within your sky. Maybe a little highlight coming down. Alright, so I'll move up here now. Highlights on this. So I'm allowing the highlights to kind of form up here on the top, and then allowing it to blend as I move down and away. Okay, then we'll go up here, highlight towards my light source. Okay, I want to go a little bit lighter up on this cloud. I'm going to go right up off the top there, just so I don't make it too cotton ball-y. Okay, then I'm going to take that blending brush. really light pressure. I'm smoothing out my brush strokes. I like to always kind of brush with the direction that I want the clouds to look like they're moving. So since they're billowing up this way, I'm going to do long brush strokes. All right, let's do one more round for today, and then we'll let it dry. So I think I can get one more round of highlights on there. I'm going to wipe my flat brush off. I'm going to go directly into white because it's going to mix on the canvas anyway. So if I go directly into white, it probably still won't be dry by tomorrow, but it will have firmed up a little bit, and that's all I need it to do. So pure titanium white dries really slow. And it just snowed here yesterday, so there's some humidity here. So it'll probably dry even slower. But it'll dry just enough that I can add layers to it tomorrow without it getting too muddy. So especially down here, I want this to be really bright. I like the contrast. So I'm going to make a few contours. Do a little bit of light. Underneath here. Okay, I'll go lighter up through here again using my pure titanium white, highlighting out towards my light source. So it's starting to have a little bit harder time to blend just because, like I said, titanium white, I've no longer added any medium. So it's starting to get a little bit muddy because it's really wet. So I don't want to overdo it. I just want to add in a few more highlights, blend it together, and then I'm going to let it dry overnight. So then we can do part 2 tomorrow. go a little bit more white up here if I can. Then we're going to do one more round of blending. So I'm going to take my blending brush again, wipe it off. And again, I like to do the blending kind of with the shape of the cloud. Don't push too hard because then, like I did there, pull too much paint into the sky, so just feather that out if that happens. Easier said than done, but if you pull the paint too far, might make these streaks in your sky, which can sometimes work, but just want to soften the brush strokes, so really light pressure. Okay, so that's a good stopping point for today. Basically what we did is created our sky, at least the first layer, and our first hill. Tomorrow we'll add in some more highlights to the clouds, add in another hill, and a few details to the hills, and then the next day we'll add in a little bit of a foreground. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Again, it was oil, 18 by 24 canvas, and we're creating a summer scene with some clouds and some hills. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments below, and I'll answer those later on tonight. You can watch this video as many times as you want. It will be posted to the Facebook page here, as well as the other parts over the next few days. You can also find my other free lessons that I've done here on my Facebook page. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully these are making the quarantine a little bit better. I know it hasn't been a whole lot of fun, so for me, I'm kind of getting a little stir crazy here, but painting is keeping me occupied, and it's a good time to practice painting, so I'm thankful for that anyway. So thanks again for watching. Please feel free to share with your friends. I really appreciate that. That helps me out a lot. And again, I'll see you over the next few days. All right, thanks again, everybody.